What if I told you that the biggest financial lesson of your life was never taught in school? From childhood, we're told to study hard, get good grades, find a secure job, save money, and work until retirement. Millions of people follow this exact path, yet many still struggle financially. So, what went wrong? In 1997, one controversial book challenged everything people believed about money. Some called it life-changing, others called it dangerous. But one thing is certain: Rich Dad, Poor Dad completely changed the way millions of people think about wealth. Today, we're exposing the hidden lessons inside this famous book, the ideas about money, assets, debt, and financial freedom that schools rarely teach. Stay until the end, because one lesson from this book could completely change the way you earn, save, and build wealth for the rest of your life. For most of our lives, we've been told the exact same story. Study hard, get good grades, find a secure job, work hard, save money, and one day you'll become financially successful. It sounds like the perfect plan. But here's a question. If this formula really worked, why are millions of hardworking people still living paycheck to paycheck? Why do people with high salaries often struggle with debt, while some people with average incomes quietly build real wealth? According to Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the answer isn't that people don't work hard enough. It's that most people are playing a financial game without ever learning the rules. The author argues that schools teach us how to become employees, but rarely teach us how money actually works. We're taught mathematics, history, science, but almost nothing about investing, cash flow, assets, or financial independence. As a result, many people spend decades working for money instead of learning how to make money work for them. This creates a cycle. You earn, you spend, you pay bills, then you wait for the next paycheck, only to repeat the same routine again. The author suggests that escaping this cycle doesn't begin with earning more. It begins with thinking differently. The way you see money, the way you make decisions, and the way you define wealth may matter far more than your salary. This is the idea that made Rich Dad, Poor Dad one of the most talked about personal finance books in the world. Not because it promised instant riches, but because it challenged beliefs that millions of people had accepted without question. And this is only the beginning. Have you ever wondered why two people earning the same salary can end up with completely different financial futures? One becomes financially free, while the other spends a lifetime worrying about money. According to Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the difference isn't always income. It's understanding the difference between an asset and a liability. The author explains that most people work hard to buy things they believe will make them wealthy: a bigger house, a luxury car, the latest gadgets, expensive clothes. They believe these purchases are signs of success. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Just because something is expensive doesn't automatically make it an asset. The book encourages readers to ask one simple question before buying anything. Will this put money into my life or take money out of it? If something regularly helps generate income or grows in value over time, it may contribute to building wealth. If it constantly requires payments, maintenance, or ongoing expenses, it may increase your financial burden instead. The author argues that many people spend years increasing their lifestyle without increasing their financial freedom. Every salary increase is followed by bigger expenses: a larger home, a newer car, more monthly payments. And before they realize it, they're earning more than ever, but saving less than ever. This cycle is often called lifestyle inflation. The more people earn, the more they spend. Instead of building financial security, they become more dependent on the next paycheck. The book challenges readers to think differently. Instead of asking, "What can I afford today?" ask, "Will this decision help me become financially stronger tomorrow?" Because real wealth is, imagine waking up every morning, rushing to work, working 8, 10, sometimes 12 hours a day, only to spend almost everything you earn before the next paycheck even arrives. Then, the cycle begins again. According to Rich Dad, Poor Dad, this is what the author calls the financial trap that millions of people never escape. Not because they are lazy, but because they were never taught another way. The book explains that fear and desire quietly control many financial decisions. Fear tells us, what if I lose my job? So we keep working harder. Desire whispers, you deserve something nicer. So we buy a bigger house, a newer car, or more expensive things. For a short time, it feels rewarding, but soon, the bills become larger. The responsibilities increase, and the pressure to earn even more never disappears. The author argues that this is exactly how the cycle continues. People don't own their lifestyle begins to own them. Many believe the solution is simply earning a higher salary. But according to the book, a higher income doesn't automatically solve financial problems. Without changing financial habits, a bigger paycheck often creates bigger expenses. The real breakthrough happens when people stop asking, how can I earn more money? And start asking, how can I build financial freedom? That small change in thinking can completely transform the decisions people make every day. Instead of spending every extra dollar, they begin looking for opportunities to build long-term wealth. The author believes that escaping the rat race doesn't happen overnight. It begins with education, better habits, and understanding how money actually works. Because once you understand the game, you stop running in circles and start moving toward financial independence. But the biggest lesson is still ahead. What if the biggest difference between rich people and everyone else isn't money at all? What if it's the way they think? According to Rich Dad, Poor Dad, most people see money as the goal. But financially successful people often see money as a tool that can create opportunities, generate income, and provide freedom. The author explains that many people spend years chasing promotions, working overtime, and hoping for a bigger paycheck. Meanwhile, some people spend that same time learning new skills, building businesses, or investing in opportunities that can continue creating value over time. The difference isn't always intelligence, it's perspective. One group asks, how much can I earn? The other asks, how can I create something that keeps working even when I'm not? This shift in thinking changes everything. The book also challenges another common belief. Many people think, I'll start investing when I have more money. But the author argues, financial education should come first, because without understanding how money works, even a large income can disappear surprisingly fast. Another powerful lesson is that opportunities rarely announce themselves. They often appear disguised as problems. While most people see obstacles, others see possibilities. That's why two people can look at the exact same situation and make completely different decisions. One sees risk. The other sees potential. The author isn't suggesting that every opportunity is worth taking. Instead, he encourages readers to develop the knowledge and judgment needed to recognize opportunities that others overlook. Because the richest investment anyone can make is not in stocks, real estate, or businesses. It's in their own financial education. The more you understand money, the better your decisions become. And better decisions, repeated over many years, can completely transform your future. But here's where the book becomes even more surprising. What if I told you that making financial mistakes doesn't automatically make you a failure? According to Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the people who build lasting wealth are not the ones who never fail. They're the ones who learn from failure faster than everyone else. Most people are afraid of losing money, so afraid that they never invest, never start a business, and never take calculated risks. They wait for the perfect opportunity, the perfect timing, the perfect market. But that moment rarely arrives. The author explains that fear often costs people more than failure ever could, because while they're waiting, others are learning, growing, and gaining valuable experience. Every successful entrepreneur, every investor, and every business owner has made mistakes. Some lost money, some made poor decisions, some failed completely. But instead of giving up, they asked one simple question: what can this experience teach me? That question changed everything. The book encourages readers to stop seeing failure as the end of the journey. Instead, see it as part of the education that schools rarely provide. Another powerful lesson is that experience often teaches things that no classroom ever can. Reading books is valuable. Watching videos is helpful. But real understanding comes from taking action, making decisions, and learning from the results. The author also reminds readers that every financial decision carries some level of uncertainty. No investment is guaranteed. No business is risk-free. Trying to eliminate every risk usually means missing every opportunity. The goal is not to avoid mistakes completely. The goal is to make informed decisions, learn continuously, and improve over time. Because every lesson learned today can prevent a much bigger mistake tomorrow. Perhaps the biggest difference between successful people and everyone else isn't talent, it isn't luck. It's their willingness to keep learning, even after things don't go as planned. Have you ever wondered why some people continue working, even after earning millions of dollars, while others achieve financial freedom much earlier, with far less money? According to Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the answer isn't found in your salary. It's found in your financial habits. The author explains that most people spend their lives working to pay bills. Every month, the paycheck arrives, the bills are paid, the money disappears, and the cycle begins again. It feels normal, because almost everyone around us is doing the same thing. But the book asks a powerful question. What if your money could start working harder than you do? This idea changes the entire conversation. Financial freedom isn't about becoming rich overnight. It's about gradually reaching a point where your income is no longer completely dependent on the hours you work. The author encourages readers to think beyond today's paycheck. Instead of asking, "How much did I earn this month?" ask, "What did I build that can continue creating value in the future?" That small shift in thinking can completely change your financial direction. Another lesson the book emphasizes is the importance of continuous learning. The world changes, technology changes, businesses change, and the people who continue learning usually discover opportunities that others never notice. The author believes that financial education is not a one-time event. It's a lifelong habit. Every book you read, every skill you develop, every mistake you learn from adds to your ability to make better financial decisions. The book also reminds readers that wealth is not measured by expensive possessions. It is measured by choices. The choice to spend time with family. The choice to work because you enjoy it, not because you have no alternative. The choice to remain calm during financial uncertainty. That freedom, according to the author, is far more valuable than simply appearing wealthy. Perhaps the greatest lesson from this chapter is this: money should create options, not pressure. It should increase your freedom, not your stress. Because true financial success isn't about owning the most things. It's about owning your time. What if the biggest obstacle to building wealth isn't the economy, isn't your job, and isn't your income? What if it's the financial habits you repeat every single day? According to Rich Dad, Poor Dad, most people don't stay financially stuck because they lack opportunities. They stay stuck because they keep making the same money decisions, again and again. One of the biggest mistakes is believing that earning more money will automatically solve every financial problem. The author explains, many people receive a promotion, increase their salary, or start earning more than ever before. But instead of becoming wealthier, they simply spend more. A bigger house, a newer car, more expensive vacations, more monthly payments. Soon, their income has increased, but so has their financial pressure. Another common mistake is buying things to impress people. The book argues that many expensive purchases are driven by emotion, not necessity. People often spend money trying to look successful instead of becoming financially secure. Ironically, the people they are trying to impress usually aren't paying nearly as much attention as they imagine. Another lesson the author emphasizes is the danger of avoiding financial education. Many people spend years learning skills for their careers, but very little time learning how money actually works. Without financial knowledge, even a high income can disappear quickly. The author also warns against allowing fear to control every decision. Fear of losing money, fear of failure, fear of making mistakes can prevent people from taking thoughtful opportunities that could improve their future. The goal isn't to eliminate every risk. The goal is to understand the risk, prepare for it, and continue learning. Perhaps the biggest financial mistake of all is believing that someone else will take care of your future Your employer, the government, or luck? According to the book, true financial security begins the moment you accept responsibility for your own financial education and your own decisions, because no one will care more about your future than you do.